All right, so what do you think? First of all, Chris Antonetti was working late last night. They announced it. You were on the air this morning when they announced the trade, right? So add 3 hours to that, the San Diego time. Those guys knocking on some doors late at night.
I always wonder, when you think about the jobs that you can get into in sports, I don't think a lot of people understand the scouting in Major League Baseball, and especially for a ball club like the Indians. That is going to be their major way to try to build a team, is through scouting other organizations and plucking those guys at the right time. And I wonder how difficult that was this year, knowing that you could only rely on last year's minor league stats and the video that you had and what your scouting told you.
If
you got no new information this year.
No, but if you're that good, you can steal some guys.
And they have. There's a reason that the Indians have been able to continue to be good with this payroll. I know it's frustrating. We're going to be frustrated. Tomorrow morning, when I go on the air on 93 The Fan with Ken, I'm going to criticize. And I haven't done that a lot with the Indians this year. And I know there's some flaws on this team, but I have to be critical because this is a team that's in first place in the division. They have one of the best run differentials in baseball. Vegas thinks they're one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the bigs to have a chance to win the World Series. And this is just the opposite of going all in. They didn't go all in. They went all in 2016. They went all in 2017, even a bit in 2018. Now they're sending a message that they're just unwilling to do that, and to do that on the precipice of, removing Francisco Lindor, which is a foregone conclusion this offseason. That one's going to sting with fans if this team doesn't go far into the playoffs.
It looked like they were going to go with not necessarily cleaning house, but a couple of blockbusters at the first take this morning. And then, as it turned out, there was a prelude to nothing.
Yeah, not only that, you have to, in a deal with Mike Clevinger, and a guy as talented as he is, and I know they kick you out the door. I'm hearing some Indians fans do that with Clevinger, but let's be honest. Think of how favorably we were talking about Clevinger before the year started, and how big of a piece he was in our rotation. Yeah. I know he's 30. I know he has a violent delivery. He's also really good, and he's also a guy that I'd have more faith in. And I know it's small sample size for a lot of pitchers when it comes to the postseason. Clayton Kershaw, look at the amount of times that he has flamed out in big games. What, you still wouldn't want that guy? You're telling me you wouldn't want to give the ball to somebody like Clayton Kershaw in a big game? It's nonsense. Mike Clevinger is a guy that you would. And now, as you see, right now, their rotation starts to make you a little nervous about Plutko. And I don't know what to expect from Plesac. And Carrasco did come off a nice outing, but he had struggled. And boy, Savali just couldn't miss bats at all yesterday in St. Louis. So this was your strength. You took away from your strength, and you did not have a serious upgrade in the outfield.
No, but there's no roster out there on any other team that can go as deep as Cleveland could have. You take a look at the beginning of the season when you had you give up Kluber and you start giving up these other guys, and you're still pretty well in depth as far as the pitching staff is concerned.
Well, without a doubt, look, they've been the best rotation in baseball. Very quietly, they this year are the best bullpen in baseball by some statistical metrics. So really put it all.
So how can they not?
They've really put it all together in that regard.
They get the starting pitching, they get the relief pitching. Why can't they get position players? It's the same group of guys spelling out the talent out there.
I think at times the Indians they get a little delusional with some of their weaknesses, but they have to be, because they're just not going to spend the money. And I'm sitting there going, Yasiel Puig still available, but nobody else in baseball seems to want to budge on him. And from what I heard about what went on in the clubhouse last year and him showing up late to meetings and on game days, that ship is clearly sailed.
Can't do
that. But I think they were a little delusional about some of those outfielders and the platoons that they have going.